time to do this. Right? It's time to do this, right? Yeah, time to do this. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. How are you? It's been months. It has been a long time, but we are here. And without further ado, introducing the one, the only, Alaia'S Navi Grizzle. In this video, I'm going to be going into the night before she came, labor, and the delivery of Alaia'S, and just let you know how it went for me, the things that we went through as a family, and my overall review of it, I guess. I guess the title isn't that positive. The most beautiful thing did come out, and that is Alaia'S is a healthy, happy baby. But it was a little traumatic for me looking back, and that is why it took me so long to film, because I wasn't ready to talk about it, and it made me very emotional. I've been going through a lot. Not health-wise or nothing in like the physical terms, but mentally it's just been a lot reflecting on her birth experience. So I was not ready to talk about it, but now I think I'm okay now, so I'm gonna do my best to recap everything. If you guys have any questions or any input or anything further to add, of course feel free to leave it down in the comments below. So let's go into the birth of little Alaia'S. So how I want to start this video is that my mother actually predicted Alaia'S birthday. I don't know how she knew, I don't know how connected she is to my stomach and me and everything, but my mom told me exactly which day Alaia'S was coming before she came. So when she was here, because she came out of course before the birth to help us and stuff like that, she kept saying, she kept seeing 8 in her dreams or in her head. So she was like, I don't know which day Alaia'S is coming, but it's surrounding the number 8. And I was like, okay mom. And coincidentally, that week she was also referencing the moon. And she was saying, oh Zoe, you hear that babies just come on full moons, right? And I personally don't believe in those kind of things, but I was like, okay mom. I remember when the first full moon came, because apparently, like I said, I don't believe, I really don't know should be the better terms. The full moon can last like several different nights. So the first night the full moon came, I was like, alright, let me see my mom right. Oh, I forgot to mention, that's the mom behind there. She has a theory that the moon correlates to baby, and baby will be born when there's a full moon. The moon look full, right? Water break, the contractions like that happening, and I just hear like a sitting duck. I was like, mommy, you like the full moon ain't predicting anything. On that actual first day too, I had a membrane sweep at the doctor's office, because it was of course going, I think it was every week at that point, and coincidentally my appointment landed on that first day. So he was like, you know, I checked, you're about a centimeter dilated, I think he said, but I'm gonna see if I can speed things up for you. If you do go into labor, what her does break, it will happen within the next 24 to 48 hours. A key point here is that I was very over being pregnant. I wanted Alaia'S out to me with every inch of my body. My back was a mess, I was moody as hell, and it was just like over the pregnancy. That sounds bad, and that's just truly how I felt. Like it was just so uncomfortable. I was just so exhausted, I could not sleep. So I was excited to have this membrane sweep, and the hopes that within the next couple of hours I probably went to labor. That did not happen. So the next full moon night came, nothing too, and I remember being like, oh my gosh. I want to break down a couple things before I actually go into those 24 hours of Alaia'S time. So number one, I already know my first pregnancy with Nala, I had a C-section. So my aim, my goal, my birth plan was to have a vaginal delivery. And when I was at my OB, they were explaining that I was a good candidate. If everything went to plan, I'll be able to push. But they also told me that if I did not go into labor on my own by a certain date, I would have to have a C-section, because as the baby gets bigger, it gets more complicated, etc. So I'm dealing with that in my mind. So I'm like, this baby gotta come, this baby gotta come. So by this time I walking, I squatting, I put the ball rolling around, I stretching, pulling at Allan in the room, eating pineapples, doing everything possible to get myself to go into labor. Nothing happened. Also to add, I had lost my mucus plug 3 weeks prior. So I was just like, alright, I'm going to labor soon. What really going on? What's the hold up, Leah? What is the hold up? We're up to the full moons now. So my mom is like, Zoe, relax, it can happen when it can happen. calm down, just be patient. God does everything in his time. And then would you believe, on the last night of the full moon, so when the moon is, I guess, its fullest and brightest. You see the moon, Nala? Right there, the moon.
It's a big moon?
Yeah, it's a big moon.
Can you touch it?
No, you can't touch it. You can't touch it, the moon.
We went to the Cheesecake Factory. We ate, already accepted. This baby will probably be in me for a while. I have to have a C-section. Basically, giving up in a sense, not giving up, but accepting, surrendering, I don't know, taking in that whatever happens, happens, and it will happen as it's supposed to happen. Anyway, so get home now, go and sleep, and I think it was around 1:50 something in the morning. I had the feeling of myself wet in the bed. And this has happened before because you know you're pregnant, the baby is like literally resting on your bladder all the time. So I had a couple nights I was like I had to run to the bathroom, so I did not pee myself in the bed. But I remember being like, wait, I can't stop peeing. The same feeling I had with Nala. So then I went to the bathroom and the same thing that happened before, I just could not stop peeing when I finished actually peeing. And it was clear, so here it is now. I go to Allan in the bed. I say, Allan? Huh? I think my water just broke. Okay. And he rolls over and goes back to sleep. I said, Allan, get up, we gotta go to the hospital. He's like, oh, this actually happening. You know, like when you're kind of sleeping, when you're like sleep drunk kind of thing. So he wasn't like aware what was actually happening. When he gets it, he kneels over the bed, he looks at me, he's like, Zoe, are you sure? I said, yes. And then he's like, Zoe, are you sure? And I'm here standing, legs open, I still have my pants on, and the water's flowing. I was like, you need more proof than this? So we weren't rushing or anything because we had the bags packed. Allan's mom was here, my mom was here. We were good on Nala being taken care of. And I'm like so excited at this point because like, oh my gosh, it happened on the last night of the full moon. We finally happening. It happened before the date. They told me that I would have to get the C-section so I can have a vaginal delivery. Everything going good. Alright, so we on our way. We get to the highway and we see like these cows in the road.
I've been helping Down Valley 2 visitors per day for
So it was good that the night started off humorous because I mean we were dying laughing because it was so random. It was that funny to us. Anyways, now so I called, let them know that I was on my way. I check into triage and they have to confirm that my water broke. It was very evident because as soon as I laid down, everything was still gushing out, and she texted me. So it was 2 centimeters that I hit. She told me, go ahead, have a bath because you're probably going to have somewhat of a long night because I'm only 2 centimeters. Of course, my cervix has to be dilated until 10 for the baby to be pushed out. Oh, by this time, sorry, I missed a big part. When we see the cows, that's when I first started really contracting, and it was rather painful, I must say. I didn't experience contractions like that with Nala. So with these ones, I was like, oh, so that's what this is what the women talking about. That's what it feels like. And to me, it feels like somebody has a nail and they're holding it on your insides and just dragging it, and they're doing that repeatedly. You hungry? Okay, let's eat. So I get there now and bathe, so I just relaxing in the bed. Allan sat at his little cot next to me, and the contractions getting kind of intense. Because in my mind too, I didn't want to have the epidural unless I absolutely needed to. I was like, okay, I can really try to tough this out. And I noticed it coming like every, I want to say 10 to 12 minutes. I feeling them. I was like, I don't think I can do this. It's hurting really, really bad. And I would like to think I have somewhat of a high pain tolerance. Like, ain't that high, but it's not low either. So I was like, I ain't playing a hero. Like, I don't want to be uncomfortable if I don't have to be. Please give me the drugs. So I had the epidural. So that was the start of the drama of the night to me. Because when the anesthesiologist was administering it, he couldn't find, apparently you have to go like in between a vertebrae. You know, like I said, I'm a doctor, but he couldn't get the needle in. So like I was bleeding a lot. So I'm just there sitting hunched over because you can't move. And I'm trying to breathe through the contractions because it has not been administered as yet. So I'm just there trying to sit still with the feeling of nails ripping through my stomach and this man poking his needle in my back and can't get hurt right. So that took him about, it felt it felt like 20 minutes for him to actually get it, and it wasn't like an in and out thing. And I remember when he actually got it in, there was so much blood on like the tissue he was cleaning up my back with. I was like, is that normal? Anyways, that thing was a lifesaver because I felt absolutely nothing after that. You could have punched me and my leg could have jumped, hit me in my stomach. I was not feeling anything, and my legs were like jello, and it was like funny to see because they had to readjust me back into the bed and stuff like that. And my legs are just like flopping all over the place. So she tells me, okay, we gotta wait this out. Best thing to tell you now, just get some sleep until you become further dilated so you can push this baby out. So okay, so I start sleeping, and guess what happens? The same thing that happened to Nala. Her heart rate starts dropping. By the way, did I mention my nurse is from Barbados? She was so sweet. Sweet girl, if you ever see this video, thank you so much. She did. She hasn't been there in a while, but she was. She's from St. Peter, so it was just so nice to hear the accent and just be around someone that was from my island. Anyways, so she was the first nurse I had on that shift. She was with me until 6 o'clock, and so she was flipping me. And it wasn't happening that often. I would say like every half an hour, she would see the fluctuation in the heart rate. So she would come and just turn me on the side, put something between my legs, and then her heart rate will go back up. So she leaves me at 6 o'clock, and the next nurse comes in and she's noticing the same thing. But no, it's happening like every, I want to say 15 minutes. They're seeing the fluctuation in the heart rate, and she's flipping me. I swear they flipped me like, it felt like 30 times back and forth, back and forth. And then I see another nurse come in and she's trying to figure out if they have like the monitor around my stomach hooked up correctly, because I could be like misreading, giving me a wrong rate, and they keep flipping me. So this is going on, like I said, that was around 6 o'clock at the shift change. So this is 2 hours, like around 8 o'clock or so. Again, about 6 to 9 people just burst in your room. And I can hear the monitor too. It's not steady. It's sounding like dun 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 dun. And so Allan's up, by the way, watching everything happen, and he's like my calming force because I'm a very panicky person. So I can see him obviously concerned, but just not trying to add to the whole panic and anxiety of everything. And they bring the on-call, I guess, head delivery doctor in, and she's telling me exactly what's going on, so what they already told me. And she's saying if her heart rate does not stabilize, we're going to have to go ahead and move forward with the C-section. She's like, I'm not going to do that yet. Go ahead and put this thing inside of you that's going to give an exact heart rate of the baby, because she said that the ones that they wrap on your stomach are kind of like, it's not that they're not accurate, but they're not as accurate as the one that goes literally right inside of you, because that one attaches to the baby itself, from what I understand. I'm gonna research it and see if I can find a name for you and put it here. So she shows me it, and then she puts it inside of me, literally through my vagina. Of course I can't feel anything because I have the epidural, but in my mind I heard thinking, my vagina probably hurt so bad later on when this thing wore off, because I just felt like she just dove in. She gets an accurate read, and I can hear it because it sounds different than the monitor. And it wasn't as slow as the monitor, but it still wasn't at, I guess, the standard, because I could hear it too. Like I said, it's not that it was even just like slowing down. It wasn't constant. Like it was sounding like her heart was actually like kind of stopping in a sense. So she gets on the phone. I see her talking to somebody. I guess it's their like whole like doctor line. And she comes back to me and she's like, honey, I see your birth planning. You wanted to do a Vbac, but in the safety of yourself and the baby, we're going to go ahead and do the C-section. And by this time, there are like 10 nurses around me, trying still like looking at the monitors. Everybody's talking, and she's next to me, and I feel as though like I can see her mouth moving, but I can't hear anything, because it's like exactly what I did not want to happen. The whole process of having a C-section and the recovery is something that I just did not plan for, and I did not want to experience again if I did not have to. And so her coming and telling me that, I immediately just start crying, like water just coming from my face, and I'm trying to like be calm. Okay, I understand it's in the best interest of your baby, but then I go back and tell the nurse, are you sure there are no other options? She can't wait a little longer. She's like, no, hon, we want to make sure your baby's okay. And the heart rate is telling us that she is in some distress. So Allan's there. I see Allan just looking at me so pitifully. He can't do anything. She's like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and prep you for delivery. And then the doctor that deliver my baby, I spoke to him over the phone and he tells me the same thing. Apparently he wasn't there as yet, my surgeon. He was like driving in to work, I guess. So he spoke to me directly on the phone to explain to me the same thing the other doctor told me. And I'm just like kind of hysterical. Like hysterical in a calm way, because I wasn't like screaming or anything, but I could not stop crying. Like I couldn't even see anything because there was so much water in my eyes the whole time. Felt like my life was just not under my control anymore, and that was frightening because I was thinking about Alai'a. I was thinking about if something went wrong in surgery again, because I felt like the night kind of started off weird with the epidural, and I just the anxiety really kicked in there, and I remember I started shaking too. Anyway, so they wheeled me in, they prepped me, they put out all the drapes, and I'm just there, both arms stretched out like this. All these cords and IVs and these machines, it's just not, I hate, I do not like it. I just feel so out of control of your body and what's going on, and I just feel like everybody else was making decisions for my body. And looking back in retrospect, I know it's for the best, but that was how I was feeling at the time. He comes in, he introduces himself briefly. Allan's right next to me, immediately cut me open.
What is it?
So I feel like some pressure.
Yeah, that's normal.
Okay, yeah, more pressure. Can I put her head up a little?
Yes, please.
You don't say anything?
Yeah, again.
And Alai'a was out pretty quickly. She was born around 9:35 in the morning, and heard the little cry. I didn't even get to record that part, I think, because he saw me, so I was not in like the recording spirit with like Nala. If you see the clip too, you can see like the tears running on my face, and of course I was happy that she was alive and safe, but it was just not a good experience for me. But when I saw her, I felt better. They got her out pretty quickly, and I guess this all was God's plan. When I pulled her out, the cord was around her neck. She was like a little bit blue, and I had a hole in my uterus. I don't even know how that happens, but it was some kind of rupture I had. So it was in the best interest to have a C-section in the end. She immediately latched on and started breastfeeding.
How's it feel? Be a two-time mother.
Oh.
I should probably take my mask off. You understand me?
So introducing Alai'a.
To the world, Miss Alai'a Navi Grizzle. Oh.
I had to make a dramatic entrance like her sister too. She came out, the cord was around her neck.
Yes, Lord.
She's hungry and sleepy, like mommy.
Words to the people?
Just happy she's good.
10 fingers, 10 toes, 1 nose, 2 eyes, 2 ears. Checks and balances complete.
And I felt a whole lot better. I was just glad that part was over. She was fine and healthy. So like I said, that was the most important part to me. The whole night to day experience, I don't know, man, it kind of traumatized. I kind of don't want any more children. Initially, I don't remember, I think I mentioned this before, I wanted 4 children. But I just don't think physically, mentally, I can go through that again. I don't know, maybe subject to change. People change and grow and have different mindsets as years go by, but as of right now, I think I am done. The whole recovery process of a C-section is very, very intense. People think it's like, oh, you just get cut open and stitch back up and you go well as normal. No, it's like a major surgery. So that's another thing. And according to what the doctor said, if I was to have another child, I would have to for sure get a C-section since I already had 2. That area is too weak. It's just kind of disheartening. I don't know. Anyways, I don't make this video sad or like discourage you from ever having children or having a C-section, because sometimes people have it easier than I would have had it, by just telling you the reality of what I went through and how I felt. We got a beautiful addition to our family, so all is good, of course, in the end. I do want to do a part 2 though, going through postpartum mentally. That has to be a separate video because there's a whole lot to unpack too. A lot different to, I think, what I went through with Nala as well. But let me know if you're interested in hearing about the weeks after actually delivering. Just like that, she just finished eating right at the end of the video. I'm trying to fall asleep. I'm trying to burp her. Okay, you okay? But yeah, that was my delivery experience. I'm sorry it wasn't more magical and fairy dust and butterflies and rainbows and sparkles, but that was just my truth and my reality. Like I said, best thing that happened is this little one here. So no regrets, just stories to tell. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and it's nice to see you. Thank you for being so patient with me. Another thing I want to say, if you have any new moms in your life, reach out to them and tell them that they're doing amazing. They'll appreciate it. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye. There we go. You bored of me already? Me too, you know. Yeah, I feel the same way. Yeah? She's very talkative, you know. Yes, please. Bless you. The only one? Okay.